Hello everyone, thank you for joining today's web talk, Alfresco and Open Data through Open Standards. This is another one of our 10-minute web talks in this session. This session will be recorded today and I will be sending out a recording to everybody that joins today. If you do have any questions, please do type them in the chat box. We will get them answered for you at the end of the session. Over to Fran Álvarez, who will be presenting on today's session. Over to you, Fran.
Okay, thank you, Nav. Thank you everyone for joining to this web talk. As Nav said, it's about Alfresco and Open Data using Open Standards. It's a different angle in terms of the usage of Alfresco. We already explained this in the last summit, but we didn't want to miss the chance to share it with everyone. So as you know, we are Zaizi. So we are a company really experienced building and delivering a wide range of enterprise solutions across the whole information life cycle. We have wide knowledge in government, financial, and education. And I have said education in bold because this is a nice segment where this solution may fit. And of course, we are Alfresco and FSO certified Platinum Partner. The agenda we're going to follow, well, we will explain briefly about the content era, the open data concept, the module, the standards OAI-PMH, the module built in Alfresco about this integration, some code snippets, and finally some conclusions. So we're aiming with the content area is because you know, content is knowledge, and according to the British poet and philosopher, knowledge is power. Okay, more and more we are noticing that not only humans consume and provide content, but also more and more machines. We are going to get to a point, according to Gartner, that the Internet of Things will grow up to 26 billion. So we are going to be living in a world real soon where everything, practically everything, will consume and will provide content. Okay, so this is really important. This content needs to be open and accessible by both machines and humans. It means that not only humans need to understand the content, but also machines, so they need to be provided with some rules, some vocabulary, some standards. Okay. As part of this kind of concept, we see the linked data concept, which is a term used to describe the recommended best practices for exposing, sharing, and connecting pieces of data. Okay, and knowledge on the semantic web using URIs and RDF, and don't worry if you don't understand the graph that is below the definition. It's basically all the linked data in the world, which is open. It means that anyone, any human, any machine could link any of these nodes of the graph because it's completely linked and open in the internet. Kind of aligned concept is open data, which is the idea that certain data should be freely available to everyone to be used and republished as they wish without any restriction from copyrights or anything like that. And this is a very expensive concept that is included in the very same English government, for example, and we can see some Forbes news where they explain how open data is transforming even the city life in huge cities like Chicago in the States. Okay, open data and linked data is not exactly the same. Open data is more an idea, a concept, a movement. It's a more philosophical way of describing the fact that the data should be open. Linked data provides best practices and a protocol and a language to communicate between machines or humans. In short, not all linked data is open and not open data is linked, but both combined enables unlimited knowledge for people, machines, and systems, and the integration of all of these together. Okay, with this concept, we can bring now the OAI-PMH protocol. Okay, it's it comes from the acronym Open Archive Initiative Protocol for Metadata Harvesting, as the very definition of the protocol says. It's used to collect and harvest metadata from archives, mostly about bibliographic, education, and scientific kinds of information, kind of documents. Okay. And following the open data principle, allowed to have federated archive management. Okay. So because you know that some repositories exposing the data under this protocol, only knowing the URL endpoint, you will be able to extract all the information of this repository and make it public to elsewhere. It's not completely linked data because it's not using the protocol and the vocabulary that linked data requires, but you may see an interesting speech about what is missing to bring OAI-PMH to the linked data principles by a couple of German guys that wrote an article really interesting. Following with OAI-PMH, the language provided is Dublin Core. It can be provided with different languages, but the most important and the one that needs to be available is Dublin Core, which is a simple way to describe physical and web resources, and it's a set of very basic metadata. Also, the protocol, the way of communicating with these OAI-PMH repositories is very basic, very simple. It's only 6 operations called Verbs for identify the repository, list the available formats. As I said, Dublin Core is one of them. List the number of sets that organize the repository, the identifiers of the documents itself, and a single document. Very, very simple. Which is used by the harvester. Okay, they collect information from different OAI-PMH repositories. Okay, so a repository in the end is a URL endpoint that the harvester consumes, and they call Verbs because they know how to communicate. They speak the same language, so they know how to extract information. For example, one of the most relevant harvesters is OpenDow, which contains more than 2,700 repositories, which is really huge. Okay, I'm following with this dynamic, so we are saying that we have the ability to expose content given a format, a language, a protocol, okay, and Alfresco is a content provider. And we have seen Alfresco in different scenarios, different kind of customers. Okay, so some content might be subject to be shared, to be open with the world. For example, government, bibliographic, scientific, educational content, those are susceptible to be open. Okay, so because of this kind of documents, we provided with an integration that allows to expose the Alfresco repository as a OAI-PMH integration. Okay, we take advantage about the easily of extension capabilities in Alfresco, and we created a flexible module to map any existing data model. Okay, and it's only Alfresco side on AMP because we don't need to provide any user interface. It's just a new API that we put on top of the Alfresco. Actually, the architecture is very basic. Users will still use Alfresco user interface, Alfresco share, and machines will communicate with each other via OAI-PMH protocol with the OAI-PMH module. The configuration is very simple. You can map any Alfresco data model. We did it this way to allow users and systems to keep using their own model. They don't need to create or they don't need to do any migrations. Okay. And these are the verbs. Okay. So for example, you call this URL and you will have the information about the repository because it's the verb identify. The same with the list records. Okay. You will have all the records as a list. a particular record. Okay, if you realize the identifier is the Alfresco Node.ref identifier. Okay, and now you can see in a bigger way how this XML document looks like. Okay, so this XML will allow machines to communicate each other when they have enabled the OAI-PMH protocol supported. Okay, as conclusions, it's a different angle in the usage of Alfresco. It's very pluggable and configurable module to open your data, and it's using open standards, so you can just install the module and expose your data as under this standard. Okay, you can try to this repository, and it's already using it, and it's having real good results. And that's it. So thank you for attending. This is a kind of different web talk. I hope you have enjoyed it, and we expect to see you in the following ones. Thank you very much.